How's it going, everybody? I'm Charlie Dysinger. I'm a student athlete at Winnemac, and you're listening to the Winnemac Athletic Podcast.
Welcome to the Winnemac Athletic Podcast. Today's episode is brought to you by Sanders Foods. Whatever you're looking for, you'll find it at your hometown grocery store. First Federal Savings Bank. They don't want to be the biggest bank, just the best. Riverside Rentals. Discover canoeing, kayaking, and lazy river tubing right here in Winnemac. Action Plumbing and Heating for all your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. Been serving people since 1994. And now, the voice of the Winnemac Athletic Podcast, Justin Ruff.
Hello. Welcome back to the Winnemac Athletic Podcast, episode number 40. And today we have a glorious episode thrown at you today. We have three coaches joining us on the show today for episode 40. Two of them winning the Hoosier North Conference champion. One of them being the boys track coach and Coach Bryce Kappas. He'll be joining us today. Very excited, full of joy in Coach Kappas' voice that you will hear. They'll talk about last week in the battle at Culver, Hoosier North champions for 2025. We'll talk to him. We will also bring on the other 2025 Hoosier North champions and Coach Jim Belcher for the Winnemac Lady Warriors softball team. They earned a share of the conference title. They will see if they'll be able to take it all in against the Triton Trojans, and that will be tonight going up against that. But they earned the share, which that means that's the first time since 2017 for our Winnemac Lady Warrior softball team. And for the boys side in track, that is the first one since 2022, I do believe, for the Winnemac boys track teams. The heck, two really good seasons, and we do have those coaches for those teams joining us today. And we do have the head coach for our Winnemac boys baseball team as they traveled to West Central, and we will talk to him. We recorded with him yesterday, taking on West Central, the rivalry, but they did end up losing to West Central in a battle 3-2. They were in control of that game up to the top of the sixth inning. They were winning 1-0. Hutch Martin scored the only run up to that point. West Central ended up going on a run, scoring 3 runs in that sixth inning, giving a score of 3-1. And then the seventh inning, the Warriors tried to battle back. Brady Mathias hit a beautiful hit. He tried to advance to second base and got caught, leaving Will Malco with 2 outs up the bat. He then ended up striking out, giving the Trojans the victory there, 3-2. But they do go back at it against North White this Thursday, and we will talk about that and what is to come for our Winnemac boys baseball team. For golf, they pretty much took a week off. They are at it this week, and then Saturday they have the big one in the Hoosier North Conference title, so they're looking to grab one of their own conference championship. Hopefully it's back-to-back for our Winnemac boys golf team. The girls track, they did finish second in that Hoosier North championship there. We do have a couple of champions with the girls side. We have Cadence Hoover. She's having a heck of a year for her. She did win a conference title there for herself in the 2 mile. Then we do have another conference champion in the 4x8 net and balls. Hoover, Avery Wagner, and Claire Goodman for those 4 there. Congratulations to them. And on the boys' side, Chuck Dysinger, he was the conference champion once again for the shot put and discus. Big shout out to him. And then the junior and Logan Fidel, he was also a conference champion in the 2 mile. So Lots of success there all the way around for every sport. Like I mentioned, we do have the head coach for our Winnemac boys track team, then the head coach for our Winnemac Lady Warrior softball team, and also the boys baseball team. Join us today. It is a very fantastic episode. We will go ahead and start the lineup with the Winnemac boys track team. And Coach Bryce Campus, he's up to deck. Heck, you're doing it. You're listening to the Winnemac Athletic Podcast.
Hi, everybody. You're talking with Coach Kappas, the Winnemac boys track coach, and you are on the Winnemac Athletic Podcast.
Welcome back to the Winnemac Athletic Podcast today. Super thrilled to welcome back the head coach for our Winnemac boys track team and Coach Kappas. How's it going, Coach? How you doing today?
Oh man, it's a great day.
Great day. I'm sure you woke up today feeling pretty good.
Yeah, and I hope the boys did too. We had a fantastic night, which I'm sure we'll get into here a little bit. And thanks again for having me on this. I really enjoy doing this with you.
Awesome. Thanks, Kappas. Again, we got to talk about it last night. It was actually supposed to be last Tuesday, but it happened on Thursday. You guys still got it in. Get super happy that you guys did. Hoosier North, Coach. Conference champions. That sounds beautiful. Pretty cool. But also, this is a little bit kind of different because you guys added on 2 more teams. So, beating them, I'm sure was quite enjoyable too. But, Coach, let's just get a rundown. Really dive deep into what happened last night and all the fun activities that happened last night. What do you got?
Well, we were pretty determined to kind of redeem ourselves from last year. I thought we had an opportunity that sort of slipped away from us. We had a great team last year, and most of the guys came back this year. And I felt like they were ready and prepared to make sure that we brought the conference back to Winnemac. And really started with our seniors, Dylan and Camden, and Raiden Riddle, and Logan Marlowe, who kind of set the tone early. Practices started before Christmas. We have been outside. We have been working up until this moment, and I felt like we were really ready to go last night. And the boys definitely proved that by coming out with a victory.
Fantastic. You have some champions, Coach. I saw you have Chuck Dysinger there just doing work with the discus and the shot put. And then Logan Friedel, the junior, stepping in that 2 mile. Those guys stepping up for you big. Champions, pretty cool stuff.
It really is. If you know the layout of a track meet, throwing kind of gets done a little bit earlier than some of the other stuff. Mm-hmm. And, Chuck really put us in a position, Charles Dysinger, for those of you listening out there, he put us in a position early on to show that we are here and we're going to do this tonight. He wins the shot put right away, and then just turns around and has a fantastic discus showing and wins that as well. And he's also guided a newcomer to our group in Hank Haschel, Hunter Haschel, and Hunter was able to work with Charlie all year, and he's gotten much improved, and he was able to place in both spots. And any time that you're in a match like this that you can get 2 guys to score in one event, really starts setting you apart from the other teams. And then just go to Logan. I could talk about these guys all day. I don't think you have enough recording space. But to go to Logan, he was really geared up for this 3,200. It's the 2 mile race near the end. And basically it came down to if he showed what he could do in the 2 mile, it was going to steal the victory for us. And he did that. And I got to point out that Nathan Perchowski was there the whole time as well. They worked together to get around the Pioneer kid. They had worked really hard on pacing and just keeping things tight, and it allowed Nathan to be successfully at 3rd place, and then Logan to really take on that Pioneer kid at the end with an outstanding final 100 meters. I mean, you would think a 2 mile race doesn't need to come down to the final 100 meters, but it certainly did there.
That's fantastic. And I do believe Pioneer, they were right behind us as a team, right? Weren't they second or third?
It was kind of interesting when we were going into the match. We really thought it was more of a 4-horse race. We were real confident in our guys, of course. Triton had given us some trouble earlier. Pioneer had beat us once, and we had beat them once earlier in the year. And then North Judson always brings, a load to deal with. And we were able to get around those guys. Triton and Pioneer really ended up helping us by kind of beating on each other a little bit. And so those points ended up making things more open for our team when it came down to it.
I love it. I love it. And kind of like we talked earlier this year, just the mentality that Chuck had, Dysinger had, his work ethic and his improvement, I feel like has took a big step into his junior year. And I can see it come in effect with Logan as well. And you guys mentioned this was one of your guys' goals heading into this year. I mean, it was conference and sectional. This was it. And seeing you guys be able to accomplish that, I got the news late last night. Super pumped about it. Congratulations, Coach. It's pretty awesome stuff.
Yeah, it really was, and the guys did a great job this year of maintaining their bodies and being ready for this meet. It was a hot meet. It was in the 80s, maybe upper 80s. There was threat of weather, so we weren't sure how that was going to go down. And the boys were fit. They were ready. We had the addition of Will Malco in our team. And then I really got to point out a couple of other individual performances that made the night. And that is Ethan Burgess had a great night, but when he finished second in the 200, that changed the meet. That made it Winamax meet at that point. Other guys were really pulling their weight, and Ethan's performance on the 200 accelerated the idea that we were going to be able to win. He ran the gauntlet again. That guy's run the gauntlet all year, which is the 4x800, an 800, a 1600, and a 3200, placed in every single one of them. And then Hector Gallegos is a newcomer to our team who has taken into the mentality of these older guys that have led him and to make sure that he is getting better each and every day. And we needed him in an 800. That's been an area of need all season. And he comes out with a second place finish in that. And that is one of those, performances that just separated Winamac from the rest of the team.
Again, you mentioned Gallegos. Yes, I've been seeing his name a lot in the results and stuff. Aiden Riddle, you mentioned him. I saw him in a lot of results. But your seniors, that kind of leads into your seniors. Talk about just the importance of this class, Coach. I know Dylan Guilford definitely stands up at the top of my head as being a really good leader leading this group. But overall, your senior, just the importance of this team, Coach.
Yeah, unfortunately, we were absent from Raiden last night. He had a toe injury that he had to have fixed. But overall, his season has been solid. He was our leading long jumper by the end of the season. I think he would have done very well last night in long jump, and that would have added to what was already a successful night for us. I want to talk about Logan Marlowe. You probably didn't hear as much about him, but Logan was one of those glue guys for our team. He was one of those guys that made the guys, feel better. Track can be kind of a long season, and it can be the weather can kind of beat on you and stuff. And I felt like he always brought energy to the group. I felt like he always brought positive energy to everybody, and I enjoyed getting to work with him. And then Camden Long, and just a tremendous improvement in his hurdle work. Setting a PR in his last meet, nearly just a shade short of a PR last night, has been just solid for us throughout the year. Never complains, always works hard, is just a absolute model of what we want for our track guys to be able to do. And then, as you mentioned earlier, Dylan's been the leader on this team throughout the year. He's been kind of my go-to guy on making sure the guys are where they need to be, when they need to be there. And so we were able to just have a great night and a great season and really celebrate our seniors as they get ready to graduate. They get the opportunity to hold that trophy, and I feel like it's a really special time for them.
Awesome. That's pretty cool stuff. And I know, Coach, you only have one guaranteed event left, and that's another big one in sectional.
It is. Yes, it is.
That is next Thursday, I do believe, Coach. May 22nd on Thursday. Is that still the date on that bad boy?
Yep. Well, it'll be the last day of school, amazingly, and the boys seem ready. We're gonna meet tonight, celebrate a little bit more on our conference victory, and then really break down our sectional and start seeing the things that we can do well, the things that we may need to improve on or try to work around as we see how the heat sheets fall to us here probably later this afternoon. I'm really excited to go to sectionals with this group. I'm really excited to see what happens, see who moves forward, and just, it's always bittersweet watching the season end, but we're at that point, and a lot of athletes across the state are, and I think our guys are ready.
Hey, I love it, Coach. Again, big congratulations to you as the coach, and you as the coaching staff overall. I know Andy's staff definitely putting in work, and your other coaches with you, helping you out throughout the season, and big congrats to your boys putting in the work. That's not over yet. Next week is, again, like we mentioned, a big one, but seeing you guys carrying that Hoosier North plaque is pretty awesome. Those pictures made me smile. I loved it. Congratulations again, Coach. Do you have any last word for us?
It's definitely an exciting night, and it's been a pleasure to talk about these guys. I could do this all day. I don't think we have enough time, but I think we could do this all day.
Oh, I'm with you. But hey, again, I can't thank you enough, Coach. That was the head coach of the 2025 Hoosier North Athletic Conference champion on the boys track side. We will be right back. Hey, you're doing it. You're listening to the Winamac Athletic Podcast.
Hi, Warrior fans. This is Jetty Belcher, head coach of the Winamac softball team, and you are listening to the Winamac Athletic Podcast.
Welcome back to the Winamac Athletic Podcast today. Super excited, like always, to have the head coach for our Winamac Lady Warrior softball team, Coach Jen Belcher. How's it going, Belcher?
It's going great, Justin. How are you doing today?
I am fantastic. I am feeling good, but I guarantee, Coach, you're feeling a little bit better than me. Is that safe to say?
I'm glad you're feeling good, but I would venture to guess that I'm feeling a little better too. Yes, it's been a great weekend, and we're pretty excited about how things are going for us.
That's fantastic, Coach. You had a big one last Saturday against the other Warrior team that was itching to defeat you ladies and claim and earning a share of right now of the Hoosier North Conference, and you guys defeated them. Big time win. Again, earning a share of the Hoosier North Conference title. And Coach, I'm not gonna heck, I'm gonna say it anyway. This is the first one since 2017. And
Correct.
It's pretty awesome, and I know it's one of your goals that you guys were aiming for, and it's the third overall conference title. So you should be a little bit excited. Your team should be too. It was a great win.
Yeah, we are super excited. As you mentioned, Justin, it was one of the goals that our team listed at the very beginning of the season, and it typically is. And our conference is historically very strong in softball. We've had teams, we have a state champion, we've had state runners-up from multiple teams. So winning the conference in the HNAC is a big deal. And right now, as you said, we have a share with one more game to go, and we hope to take care of business on Tuesday and win it outright. But that game against North Miami on Saturday, North Miami came into town, and we were the only two undefeated teams in the conference. So, so it was pretty much to put the person in the driver's seat for the conference championship. Our kids responded so well, played played just a really clean ball game, hit the ball really well, had good defensive plays, turned a 4-6-3 double play during the game, had good pitching. It was just a really good team win.
You had a doubleheader Saturday, but the first one was the conference game.
Correct.
And the second one was just a regular season game.
Right.
You guys ended up winning that one. Yeah, I mean, head coach, let's talk about your team. Your team, you ladies are fun to watch. I'm not gonna lie. I mean,
Thank you.
You're a fun team to watch. Your team is really getting the bat rolling too. I know we talked about Grace Roth last time I had you on, really stepping up as a freshman. I can name every single player on your team, and Brody Goodman's been playing well. Maggie Keller, I feel like she's the double queen.
Yeah.
It's Jesse's doubles left and right. And then Michaela Warner, just you have to keep an eye on her if you're a pitcher. She steals bases left and right, I feel like. And then, of course, your seniors and Corinne Combs having a heck of a year. Again, I can go on and on about your team, but I'm going to let you do that, Coach.
Well, you know our team well. I can tell that. We have so many kids contribute, Justin, and the thing that I can say about our team that I can honestly say is we have so many kids contribute, and we don't necessarily have a superstar. And that's a good thing because, everyone contributes, everyone does their part. And in my opinion, that's a much harder team to control than a team that maybe has one superstar. If you can control their superstar, their leader and everything, then you have a much better chance of winning. And I think we have so many weapons, so many kids who can contribute and come in. You mentioned Brody Goodman. She had a great day for us Saturday. Hit a double and a home run, had 3 of our RBI, and her home run was awesome in that game on Saturday. I think it just took some of the wind out of North Miami's sails. They made a pitching change right after that. I think it's solidified, hey, we're here to play, and you're really going to have to scratch and claw to beat us today. I think that was a message that Brody sent with her bat. As you said, Maggie Keller's been hitting well, but Maggie also plays a really nice shortstop for us. So she's in games defensively and offensively. Corinne Combs, she's a consistent hitter for us, swings the bat for us well almost every night. And then you look at Brooke Roush on Saturday, came through in the late innings with a huge triple to drive in a run. So that was great to see. So offensively, we have kids that are contributing. I've talked to you about our pitchers before, and Brooke and Adriana Hall, they're getting the job done for us in the circle. So just lots of kids up and down the lineup that are doing their job.
Oh, love it. And I see toughness, too. I mean, it's just toughness for your team, Coach, because I saw Brooke Rouse on Friday, and she just in the hallway, and she had a bruise, no joke, on her leg, bigger than my head.
She does, yeah. She has that bruise on her leg, and Justin, I don't know if she told you or not, but yes, of course, she got hit with a ball, and that was at our Delphi tournament. She got drilled in the leg with the ball while she was pitching. The ball comes off of her leg in the air, and Lauren Bruce catches it at third base to get it out. That was fantastic. And it's just part of our game. That's the way Brooke looks at it. Oh yeah, I'm fine. I got hit with the ball. No big deal. My third base just got it out. So. Kind of a strange assist from pitcher to third base for that put out, but got the job done.
We'll take it.
That's right. We'll take it. And hey, I mentioned Lauren Bruce, and I forgot to mention her from Saturday. North Miami has a really, really good leadoff batter. And during that ball game on Saturday, Lauren Bruce played excellent defense for us at third base, scooping up some plays at third and getting this leadoff batter who's super quick. And Lauren was able to get her out, and she starts their leadoff batter starts their offense, and Lauren took care of her a couple times on Saturday, which really, really helped us defensively too.
That's awesome, man. Again, she's one of your seniors. You have senior night tonight, Coach, against Tri-Township. Just a really good senior class. Not the biggest one, but 3 important ones in Corinne Combs, Lindsay Walters, and then Lauren Bruce. Just talk about the importance real quick, Coach, on those 3 seniors.
Oh, yeah. As you said, not huge in numbers, but boy, did they contribute. Those 3 kids, they're good leaders for us. Two of them are co-captains with Corinne and Lindsay, but good leaders for us. They all contribute defensively day in and day out. Our outfield is so strong, and part of the reason for that is having Lindsay out there in the outfield. She does a great job for us there. She's also our slapper, our lefty slapper, bunter in our lineup. She tries to cause some havoc and get on base for us and let somebody move her around. She's had a really good year for us this year. We mentioned Lauren at third. She's had a solid year for us at the plate as well. And then Corinne Combs catches for us on a daily basis and leads us offensively in the power hitting department. So those three have just had a really good year, and they just kind of help gel the team. A lot of times you'll get a group of seniors who, I'm not sure how else to put it, Justin, but they think they're kind of entitled a little bit because they're seniors. And I don't mean that as negatively as it probably comes across, but that's just the way I'm trying to think to describe it. These three kids, they're in the trenches. They are there with their teammates, having their teammates follow them and say, hey, let's do this. Let's get this done. Let's hit the ground running and see what we can do. And just their attitude and their work ethic has been a real pleasure this year.
I love it. And like you mentioned, it's so important to have multiple weapons like you do, Coach. And that's one of the reasons why you're conference champions right now. It's a fantastic thing to see, and it's fun watching you guys all year. And you have 3 games this week: Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. A big one Friday, man. The Tri-County team is pretty good. Oh, well, they're all big games because, like you mentioned, Tuesday, seal the deal. And take the whole conference by ourselves.
Right.
So game Tuesday as well. And then next week, Coach, is the other big one, sectional play. But 3 games left of regular season, Coach.
That's crazy.
How's that?
It's winding down, and spring sports are just this way where once it starts, it's like fasten your seatbelt. Because here we go, and you're not going to get much time off. You're not going to get many breaks. You're going to play a lot, and this thing is just going to go by in no time. So to think that tonight is senior night for our kids, just so happy for those 3 that we already mentioned. I have to throw in Lillian Button as well, by the way. Lillian is our senior manager. She just joined us this year in managing, and she's an outstanding manager. We've really enjoyed having her around us and helping us out. So honor those 4 kids tonight. Hopefully take care of Tri-Township tonight, and like you said, take care of business on Tuesday at Triton. Yeah, Friday night is the Tri-County game, our last home game. And, sometimes Justin fans are like, hey, I thought your last home game is supposed to be your senior night. Well, the problem with that with outdoor sports is that if you do that and then it rains and it gets canceled, then you don't have a senior night anymore. So we always try to do it a game or 2 ahead so we have a little bit of a cushion to fall back on. So we're doing that tonight, and hopefully that'll lead us into a good week.
Is that your genius idea? Are you taking, or is that claiming
Well,
that?
well, we got burned on it once. It was one of the first years that I was here at Winnemac, and we got rained out, and luckily we were hosting sectional that year. And so after our first sectional game, we did senior night, and the AD at the time said, hey, I don't think we should ever put ourselves in this position again. And I said, absolutely agree. So ever since then, I think that was like probably 2007, if I remember correctly, somewhere around there, where we decided to make a change. So we've done that ever since, and it's nice. I like it. It gives us a little cushion. Plus, you don't have everything coming down to the very last minute. Senior night, right before sectional, it kind of jams things up a little bit sometimes. So this spread it out at least a few days anyway.
I like it. Well, hey, Coach, I can't thank you enough once again, and congratulations on the conference title, and hopefully we seal the deal and grab it all by ourselves on Tuesday.
We would love that.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have any last words for us, Coach?
I'm just super proud of our kids. I'm really excited to see what we can do to close out the season and go into sectional. If we can we can keep them focused, this is the time of year, Justin, where it's hard in spring sports and the end of school and graduation and so many things going on. If we keep them focused and keep them hungry, then I'm excited to see what we can do.
Awesome. I love that. Well, hey, thanks again, Coach. And that was the head coach of the 2025 Hoosier North Conference champions. And
Woo, that sounds great.
that sounds good, right? It felt good.
That sounds good.
It felt right. Hey, we'll be right back. Hey, you're doing it. You're listening to the Winamac Athletic Podcast.
Hey, this is Addison Allen, a student athlete for Winamac, and you're listening to the Winamac Athletic Podcast.
Welcome back to the Winamac Athletic Podcast today. Super excited to have the head coach for our Winamac boys baseball team and Coach Hendrick. How's it going, Coach? How you doing?
Not too bad. Not too bad at all.
That's good. All right, you had a busy weekend. Last week, Coach, taking on the Panthers in a doubleheader. You got back on, I guess it's safe to say, you got back on track, especially with the bats. I feel like you guys really did a good job hitting the ball against Pioneer. Again, like I mentioned, kind of breaking a 5-game losing streak. So I bet it felt good for your boys. Let's talk about those 2 games against the Panthers, Coach.
Yeah, you hit it on the head. We went down and the pitching's always going to be there with Brody and Addie and Matthias and Wheeler, but we haven't been scoring a lot of runs, and we started hitting the ball hard again. I thought I started to see it some at Twin Lakes. They beat us bad, but I knew they were going to hit our pitching hard that night. But we kind of got things going there, and I think it's just it carried over to Saturday, and I hope it just keeps carrying forward from there. We hit the ball really good. Windler, I don't know if he's quite ready to start the game, but after the first inning, he just settled in, and I knew, they scored 2, and after I watched him throw in the second inning, I told Allred, I think if we can score 3, we're going to be all right. And
there you go.
Yeah, and we kind of exploded there, so that worked good. And then the second game, Addison was throwing really well. His last pitch in the 4th inning, he had a little arm scare. He's going to be okay. He's going to miss about a week. Then Braden come in, and Kit kind of rallied around Addison, which was great to see. We went out the next inning after he went out, and we banged out 7 runs to get the 10-run lead and put that one away also.
Well, that's good. That's good to hear about Allen. And again, like I mentioned, it's good to see the boys hitting again. I know Addinger had a few good RBIs, and same with Cass Ross. And I mean, that kind of leads into your seniors. You mentioned at the beginning of the year, Coach, how important your seniors are, and they really have been. I feel like, outside looking in with your boys, is the importance of your senior group, and Matthias being one of them, Ross and Addinger, and of course Allen. Just a big senior group that's been helping you out throughout the year, I believe.
Yeah, they've done a good job. The seniors have helped a lot. Most games we have 3 freshmen in the lineup, and they've kind of showed them the ropes on basically how to prepare and what to do during games, how to watching the pitcher, seeing what you can pick up and things like that. They've been really good with the young guys. Just a really good class. 3 of my top 4 pitchers are seniors, Brody and Addison and Braden. They've done a great job. Along with Wheeler, he's not a senior. I couldn't be more happy with this senior class. I told him Saturday, the big challenge starts now. When school gets out, and I've had it go both ways. The seniors either shut down because school's over and they're done, or they want to keep playing baseball and they're focused and they get after it. So I think I'm going to have the second group. I think they're going to stay focused. I think they love to play, but you just never know until you get into that situation. I think it's the hardest thing to do in sport is coach a spring sport at the end of the year. It is difficult to keep the focus sometimes.
Yeah, that does not sound easy.
It is not. And I told them all. I said, right now, everybody's all on board. Hey, let's play baseball. I said, but when you're sitting at home or you've got a job, you're doing something next week, and you look at your watch and you think, oh, it's 3:00. I got to go to baseball. I said, that's what I'll see,
Yeah.
Easy to do now. We'll see what happens when school's actually out.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you have 2 games left in the regular season, Coach. As you know, you're taking on West Central, visiting them tonight, and then you're visiting North White, and then of course next Saturday the Bremen one, which we'll dive deep into Bremen next week. But West Central, what I want to know, since you've been part of Winamac baseball for a while, I want to know, have you guys ever had? I know we have it in football, we have it in basketball. Have we ever had like a tomahawk or something like that for baseball? Has that ever been a thing? It should.
No. When Bill Ball, who does all my pitching, grew up with Phil, done everything together. When he was coaching baseball at West Central, we always had side bets that I can't talk about, but nothing school official, no trophy, nothing like that. And I don't know why. I think there should be in all sports, but no, there's nothing for baseball. Have like a baseball bat painted, red and black and maroon and white. I think that'd be kind of cool, but so far nothing.
Well, see, that's why you're a genius, Hendrix. That should be a thing. That's
Yeah,
do that. That sounds cool and fun.
it would be. I think the kids would love it.
Yeah.
I'll probably talk to Coach Allen tonight. I might bring that up.
Talk to him. Throw my name in there too. Like
I
this
will.
genius of a guy.
I'll even give you credit for the idea.
That's awesome. I mean, again, it was wild because you guys did not play them last year. The year before, they ended up beating us. So I feel like there's, I don't know if they remember that. Hopefully they do. But of course, West Central, there's not a lot of like there, anyways. But big game for you guys against them. Again, Coach, the season's going down to it. Like I mentioned, 3 guaranteed games left, and one of your tasks, of course, you having your seniors graduate, or last day of school actually, on Thursday. Just having them focus is one thing toward the end of the season. So
Yeah, it's tough. And you throw on top of that, our last game is the 22nd, and we don't play in sectional until the 31st. That is a gigantic layoff in baseball.
right.
It is hard to keep your timing. It's really easy, especially right now. I feel like we're playing really well, and I'm going to hate that layoff. I'm going to have to come up with some ideas to keep everything competitive, kind of keep them in that groove, and that's not easy to do. I'm worried about the layoff. Obviously we have 2 more games to play, and I'm thinking ahead, but that's a long layoff at the end of a baseball year. It scares me a little bit.
Is that a normal thing? It looks strange when I saw that. I'm like, what the heck?
It's not a normal thing. It's usually, you finish up, like if we'd play, on the 22nd, normally traditionally sectional start right at Memorial Day. Everything's kind of pushed back a week. So, picking up North White would have been great. And then, playing in a tournament on Monday or Tuesday, but boy, waiting that whole week, that's going to be rough. It is. I'm not going to lie, that'll be tough, but hey, we'll work around it. We'll try and figure something out. Still looking for hopefully we can pick up a game on the 27th. A lot of people don't want to play it in because you don't want to use up any pitching before the tournament. So I would imagine we're just going to have to find a way to get through next week and stay sharp. That's the important thing.
Right, absolutely. And again, Coach, that's why they pay you the big bucks. You'll think of something good, right?
I sure hope so.
Well, Coach, again, I can't thank you enough for jumping on and talk about your squad and your team. And do you have any last words for us?
No, we're done in the conference. We finished 3rd. I told the boys Saturday, what's really frustrating, it's, we finished 3 runs away from winning the conference. And we had our chances in every one of those games. Just, it didn't work out for us. So, we need to carry that in. We need to carry that mindset in. Hey, we were just short. We had our chances, and we can't blow our chances going forward. We we get opportunities to put runs on the board, we got to do it now. And I thought Saturday was a great day for us, and hopefully we can carry it through to tonight.
Awesome. I love it, Coach. Well, hey, good luck tonight against West Central. Go get that tomahawk bat. See what I did there?
Yeah, I saw. I figured it out.
Oh, well, hey, Coach, thanks again. Again, good luck tonight and the remainder of this week. And again, we'll have you on later on next week to talk about sectional play. So that was the head coach for our Winamac boys baseball team, and Coach Mark Hendricks will be doing it. You're listening to the Winamac Athletic Podcast.
Thank you for listening to the Winamac Athletic Podcast. Today's episode is brought to you by Sanders Foods. Whatever you're looking for, you'll find it at your hometown grocery store. First Federal Savings Bank. They don't want to be the biggest bank, just the best. Riverside Rentals. Discover canoeing, kayaking, and lazy river tubing right here in Winamac. Action Plumbing and Heating for all your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. Been serving people since 1994. We would like to thank our sponsors for sponsoring today's show and being part of the Winamac Athletic Podcast.
Hey guys, don't forget to subscribe.